In this session, we're going to wrap up Chapter 9 and the time that Edna spent working for the county. I had not been aware that Summit County politicians were expected to attend all the funerals in the county. One morning, the county treasurer stuck his head in my office. "Better grab a warm coat, Edna. We're going along with the assessor and the sheriff to a funeral." Who's the funeral for?" I asked. "Julius Beckman, one of the Swedes who lived at the old Keystone place." "Oh, that's too bad," I said. "I'll certainly miss that old character." After the funeral, we drove up to Cemetery Hill, east of Dillon. I shivered as I stood in the icy wind, wishing I had worn warmer shoes. While the casket was being lowered, I saw a bottle being passed around the group of mourners. Each took a swig. When the bottle reached me, I noted it was Old Crow bourbon. Old Crow, I thought. I remember one evening at the Blue River Inn in Dillon, I was eating supper when the door opened and Julius Beckman entered. "Evening," the bartender greeted Julius, who seated himself at the bar. "What do you have?" "I'll just have some of the squirrel juice." "Sorry, Julius, we haven't got any squirrel juice," said the bartender. "How about some Old Crow?" "Oh, Jesus, no," Julius laughed. "I don't want to fly. I just want to jump around a little." When the affidavits of labor on the mining claims came due, the miners in the area would come in to file their assessment work. Now, the difference between patented mines and mining claims was that the patented mines had been issued a patent from the President of the United States. These were mines which had been proved bona fide with minerals and belonged to that person receiving the patent, sort of like having homesteaded a ranch. Now, the claims, on the other hand, which were on government-owned land, had to have a location certificate filed with a map and mining district. The claims only needed $100 worth of work done on each one per year in order to hold the claim. Therefore, we were swamped with the filing of assessment work, which all came due on the 1st of July. Some of the miners who came down out of the hills for the first time in months wanted to make a big day of it. Nick Babbage came into the office one day, a tall French-Canadian fella, anywhere from 45 to 60 years or more. It was really hard to tell the ages of these miners. They all walked slightly bent over, as if they'd been pushing mine carts in and out of a mine tunnel all their lives. Nick had a sweet smile. "I'm filing location on my mine," he told me. After making out the receipt for it, he handed me $2 more than necessary for the recording. "That's your tip," he said with a childlike trusting smile, and he shuffled out of the office before I could return it. Looking at the location, I noticed he'd not even mentioned a mining district or attached the necessary map. I wondered if he even knew where his mine was located. It was spring of '52. One day, Edna and I decided we'd like to enter a slalom race up on Loveland Pass. We were both working all week, but this race was on a Sunday, so we could go. A bit of a blizzard started early Sunday morning, but not enough to discourage us. Piling the kids into her old Studebaker, we headed up over Loveland Pass. About 20 feet from the top, the tires started to spin. It just needed a bit of a push. "Just hold the steering wheel steady," we told the two older youngsters. With Edna on one side of the back of the car and I on the other, we pushed it inch by inch to the top. The rest of the way wasn't a problem. 2 days afterward, we read in the Summit County Journal, Edna Gangong and Edna Dercum both raced at Berthoud Pass last Sunday, and they both done good. How good we done, no one but us knew. The day of the race, it was cold and blizzarding at the top of the hill where the slalom was to start. We were told there was a gate halfway down where you had to either back in or kick turn to enter the gate. It was between a big rock and next to a sharp drop off. I backed in and Adina kick turned in, but we both done good and finished. After the race, there was an awards dinner near Georgetown. Couldn't miss that. We were met at the door by a fella I'd seen the week before when he was hitchhiking in Dillon. His car had run out of gas about 4 miles east of Dillon, and I had given him a ride into town on my way to work. He was the new owner of this resort. Everything, buffet and drinks, were on the house for us. After the gala party, which the kids enjoyed as much as we did, we put the little ones to sleep in the back of the car. We headed on over Loveland Pass, arriving safely home. A crazy day and a crazy race. We were all pretty much bushed, but as we reminisced, we sure done good. Sometimes on Wednesday evenings, I would go directly from the office to Climax to ski. The hill would be lighted until 10 p.m. After an evening at Climax, I arrived back at Ski Tip to find the living room crowded with guests. As I stood warming myself at the fire, a young lady came up to me and asked, "What group did you come up with?" What group did I come with? I was speechless. That evening, as we were preparing for bed, I told Max, "I'm quitting the county job in May. I just made up my mind." He looked at me thoughtfully. "Are you sure you want to? Remember how much you enjoyed running for the office on your own and winning in this county 5-1? That's just it, Max. I'll have to run again this fall and tie myself down to 2 more years in that overheated building. Worse than that, I'll lose the summers with the children growing up. I'll only get to ski with them on Sundays. The following election, I'll be well over 40 with the same decision to make. I would begin to feel like a stranger around here." "Thank God," Max exclaimed. "It was okay when we really needed the money, but now we'll be able to make out just fine. Also, Edna, you'll be able to take the ski instructor's exam this May. Why not quit the 1st of May?" So it's all decided. What a release! No more of that drive to Breckenridge every morning. As I turned over the books, the reins, the responsibilities to my new deputy, Luna, I couldn't help feeling grateful. Not only had I learned to borrow money, but best of all, I had become closely acquainted with the mountain people, the miners, the ranchers, and the townspeople of this unique and beautiful county. Hopefully, I'd learned to respect their straightforward, honest, and fearless way of life.